Do not stop me until we're through. Okay, just put a little star by anything you want to double check. Everybody good? Okay, so like I said, I will explain anything as we go through it. So that is F, E, A, H, C, G, B. Okay, everybody got it? I'll explain in a minute, as always. And this is D, E, A, F, death. 12 is C, D, and B, but I would also accept F there. Everybody good? Okay, and remember, I'll come back and do any explanations needed at the end. When multiplying powers that have the same base, you plus the exponents. See what I did there? No, you add the exponents, of course. But some of you will be so lazy, you might have actually written a plus sign. How many of you were that lazy? Be honest. No one lies. To simplify power of a power, you multiply or times them. Any non-zero base, raise the exponent of 0. The result of raising a fraction to a negative exponent is the same as the result of raising the reciprocal. That is equivalent to the square root of 15. That is 4 to the... It's 2 to the 10th, so it's 4 to the... No, yeah, 4 to the 5th. Somebody did this work. Is it 4 to the 5th? Yeah. Thank you. Cube is 7. No. Yeah, 7 times 7 times 7. Yep. -3. Mixed radical when written as an entire radical is 81 times 5. 485? No, 405. And that is... Okay, this one has a couple of answers. I will accept both of them. You could have this, M2 over N3, all to the 1/3. That is acceptable. Or you could go one step further and have M to the 2/3 over N. Both of them are acceptable. Okay? Now, I hope some of you just saw that ink disappear. Okay? The last time that was happening, I lost the audio on my recording. It wasn't there. So I'm hoping that that will not happen here. All right. Obviously, I need some more room for this, but I might be able to cram 9604 in there. Oops. Now, again, is there any right way to do this? No, there's absolutely no correct way to go about doing this, yes? But there's a lot of... So you might want to wait till we get down to the answer. 2, and that's 4802, and 2, and that's 2401, and that's... what? That's 49 squared, yep. 49 squared, which is 7 squared and 7 squared, right? So it's 2 squared times 7 to the 4th. There is your prime factorization. I'm going to... Oh, we haven't evaluated it yet. Yeah, thank you. So what comes out? 2 and 2 sevens, right? So it's 7 times 7 times 2, which is 98 to get the final answer. Now, 2, you've got to do 2 things. And it seems really simple, right? Like when you read that question, like how can that all be all he wants me to do? A square that is, it's 5.1 squared plus 3.5 squared. That's the expression. Now, here's why I got you to do this question. A great many math students will think that there's some exponent law here. There isn't. You have to square that and then square that and add them to get 38 point whatever it is. 26. And then this one is 4.3 squared plus 9.3 squared. And then whatever that is, it's going to be 16 and 81, something around 97 or about 100. 104 dot what point whatever. Okay, that's what I want there. The whole point of the question is that you are not fooled into thinking there is some sort of exponent law for adding. Because there isn't, is there? Right? 3 squared plus 3 squared is 18. Okay? Simplify. All right, this is, now, notice this brackets are right here, so this 2 goes to everything, yeah? I would do inside these brackets first, and then deal with the 2. So if I were doing this question, it would be A3, B4, C6, all squared, over B6, C15. I took care of the bottom right away because there wasn't any operations inside those brackets, yeah? And then up top, you had A to the 6th, B to the 8th, C to the 12th, over B to the 6th, C to the 15, subtract A6, no one's touching that. 8 minus 6 is B squared. 12 minus 15 is negative 3. So the negative 3, if it has to come down to the denominator. That's your final answer. All right? And I'm giving you guys, we're just taking 1 point for everything. If you have some of it, give yourself a half. Okay? Even some of it right, you can have a half mark. Order from least to greatest. More than one method, right? How many people punched all that into their calculator? Is that okay? Yeah. So you describe your method. I punch them all into my calculator and use the irrational numbers that way, right? Okay. Another way you could have done it was made them all full radicals, right? You could have done, this is the cube root of 40. That's root 30. That's root 64. And that is root 54. Then you could have put them on the line, right? Now, what's the order then? The only one that's a problem is this guy, right? You got to estimate him. Cube root of 40 is, yeah, he's definitely, it's 3 something, right? So cube or square root of 30 is going to be 5 something, 8 something, and 5.5. No, what am I saying? 7.5. So you know this guy's the littlest, right? So you just put him in order. So that guy's 1. That guy's 2. Oh, greatest to least. Okay. So yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1. So greatest to least. This guy would be first. No, this guy would be first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 disappeared. And it's not disappearing now. Okay. Express as an entire, express each radical as a mixed radical in simplest form. So guys, this is simplify. Some of you screwed that up on your radicals test. When I said simplify, a bunch of you just punched it into your calculator. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, simplifying a radical means you break it down, but you leave it as a radical, unless it ends up perfect, right? So this is the root of 9 times 5. What's square root of 9? So it's 3 root 5. 3 root 40 is the cubed root of 8 times 5. What's the cube root of 8? 2. So it's 2 cube root 5. And 243 is 3 times 81, which is 9 root 3. Everybody cool? Okay. Each of them is worth 1 mark. A is 3 to the 5/4. B, now B is like that one we had earlier. It's got 2 answers. I will accept this. X to the 4th, y to the 3rd, all to the 1/2. I will accept that. But it is also x to the 2 over y to the 3/2. I will accept both of them. Okay? And C is 64 n to the 4th, all to the 1/3. I'll accept that. A better answer is 4 n to the 4/3. I will accept that. Now listen, remember how earlier in the year I was discussing about the way they're talking about changing your guys' assessment to be like it was in elementary school? You meet our expectations or you exceed our expectations. Remember we were talking about that? And I said it's really difficult to do that in math class because most of the time in math class the answer is right or wrong, right? Like if I ask you how long is this hypotenuse and you don't give me the right answer, you haven't met my expectations. But if you give me the right answer, you've met my expectations, but how could you possibly exceed them? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is one of the few times where I could say that. This meets my expectations. This proves to me you know that that index becomes the denominator, and this power out here, this is all to the 1, becomes the numerator. This would meet my expectations. You with me? But if you realize, oh, wait a minute, 64 has a cubed root, it's 4, and you multiplied that in here, you distributed that 1/3 in with the 4, and you saw that, that would exceed my expectation. Do you understand? To compare it to now, this would be a B, this would be an A in current assessment. Everybody cool with that? There's not a lot of examples where that works in math class. This is a time when it does. Cool? For our purposes, I'll accept either one of those. Okay? If you want to make me go home and smile and think, oh, I'm such a good math teacher, this is the one you have. If you just want to get through the course with a good grade, this is the one you have. Okay? They're both the same. I don't care. Picking up what I'm putting down? I said I wasn't going to do any explanations, but I had to spend a moment with that one. Dice rolling game. What's the key word in that whole question? Expected. There's no way to do this, right? It's entirely possible that all 8 contestants would roll an even number on the first round, isn't it? Right? But how many do you expect to disappear? There's 8. And on the first roll, how many people disappear? 4. Because half of them are going to roll odds. You with me? So 1 roll, half are gone. Now there's 4 left. How many rolls? 2. Now there's 2 left. How many rolls? We'll talk about yours in a second. 1 more roll, we have a winner, yes? So there are 3 rounds, or if you read this as rolls, there's 8 people roll, right? Then 4 people roll, that's 12 rolls. Then 2 people roll, that's 14. Picking up what I'm putting down? And after 14 actual throws of the dice, you would have a winner. So I would also accept 14 rolls. Both of them are okay. Cool? And now let's check this person out. Is that okay to make 1/4 negative 0.25? A quarter is 0.25, right? Could you also have changed this 0.75 to 3/4? Either one of them would be okay. But this isn't asking what you would do. We are marking this. We are marking Amy's work, right? This is what I have to do when you guys hand me in a test. I got to look at your work and see if it's okay. So, yes, I'm okay with that. Right? This question would be out of 3. Good job. Now, negative 0.25 plus negative 0.75. Why is she adding? Because it's dividing, so she should be subtracting, right? Oh, but subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive, yeah? So, oh, but wait, she added a negative. So there's her mistake, yeah? That was your job. Find her mistake. That gets you 1 mark. Then you would come over here and you would do it right as if you were in a class with a really good math teacher who had taught you how to do this properly, like you all are. See what I did there? Then you should all be laughing because that was funny. Better. Okay, so what really happened here? It is 3, and it is negative 0.25 plus what? What? Plus what? 0.75 to get 3 to the 0.5, yes? Which is the same as 3 to the 1/2 or root 3. I would accept either one of those. Everybody cool? Making the whole thing out of I don't even know. 14, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Making the whole thing out of 38. Now, count it up, take a moment, figure out what you got. What are you going to do with that number? Write it on your test tomorrow. If you don't, what grade am I putting in check my mark for you for this review? 0. Then you guys will come to me, Mr. Myers, you totally gave a 0 on something I did. And I will say, yes, I did, because you totally didn't write the score on your test. And you will say, I did. And then I'll go to this test pile and I'll look at it and it won't be there. And you'll be all like, well, I meant to. And I'll be all like, okay. So don't forget tomorrow. Okay? You guys know that I will forget to remind you tomorrow because I forget to remind you every day. The first person that hands in their test tomorrow will say, do you want me to write the test score, my review score on it? I'll say, oh yeah. And then I'll say, everyone stop, write your review score right now. And then a bunch of you will say, I read it as yesterday. And then we'll have a big problem. Now, the bell is not going to ring for 7 minutes, which means I can do explanation of anything you need for the next 7 minutes. Your test is on this tomorrow. I already know all the right answers for 2 reasons. 1, I'm the math teacher, and 2, I made the test. Oh, shucks, Antonio. Anybody want to talk about any one of these? Do anybody need anything explained? I did a bunch of explaining anyways. We went even though I said I wasn't going to. Is everyone okay? Everyone is ready? Okay, I'm reminding you. This test is heavily skewed for exponents, but there will be some radical knowledge will be needed to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Because fractional exponents have radicals, and if you can simplify them, I expect you to simplify them. Yeah? Okay? Like a question like this one right here, that's an exponent question, but you better be able to also do radicals. Yeah? Cool? Okay. Where are you going to write your score to 38? On your test tomorrow. How many people are going to forget? 20. At least one. Yes, Abresia will. She forgets every test. Every single test. And then she comes running up. Can I see my test? Okay. We're all good? Now, we totally went over this, right? Everyone has seen all the right answers to this? Okay. Remember, you guys. Remember. The most complicated exponent questions, right, are always just a series of single laws. Okay? Apply one law all the way through the question. Write out the answer to that one law, then apply the next law all the way through. You picking up what I'm putting down? Don't try to hold 2 or 3 laws in your head at once. You'll screw up. Not because you're unintelligent, but because there's a lot going on in there, right? Don't try to remember that, oh, this B over here is negative, so I got to remember to move it at the end. Write it out as a negative, and then move it at the end. Okay? Understand? If I had to pick the biggest mistakes kids make on the exponent test that you are about to get, it is things like this. 4a to the 6, b to the 4, c to the 8 to the 1/2. This is always screwed up. What is it? Where does that 1/2 go? Everything. So it's 4 to the 1/2. Oh, wait a minute. That's the square root of 4, isn't it? So it's 2. What happens to all of these? They get cut in half. So it's A what? 3, B, 2, C, 4. That's a huge error made on this test. Always. Always, always, always. Another one that is bad on this test is this. 3/2. Well, that's the square root of 4 to what power? 3. So that would be 8, wouldn't it? And this would be 9, 6, and 12. Right? Because it would be 8 times 3/2, which would be 24 over 2. That is a huge mistake made on this test. Okay, the other huge mistake made on this test is this. 3abc times 4abc all squared. People don't do these brackets first. What's inside these brackets? 12a squared b squared c squared. Then square it all. And again, this is a mistake you all make. You forget to take that exponent to the coefficient. Every one of you forgets it at least once in your work. Always. Don't forget that. So that would, of course, be 144, A4, B4, C4. Right? Cool? And the other mistake is this. 3 over 2, 3a squared b over 2ab, all to the -2. When you attack that negative can really screw you up. If you're going to do it first, it becomes 2ab over 3a squared b all squared. Or you can apply it to everything and then move it. The other thing that messes you up, if this is -2 and it moves up to here, when I flip this one, what exponent goes there? It was -2 with -2 here. I flipped it, made that +2. What is that now? Still -2. Because the only thing that changes is the one I was actually changing. Understand? Then I would do -2 minus 1 to get me b to the -3. And then -3 would be squared, would be -6. And then it would have to move to the denominator or the numerator, whatever is needed to be. Cool? Remember, there are only 6 things you need to know for this test. Just your exponent laws. You have them all written down on one page of your notes. It looks like this. I lie, it might be on 2 pages of your notes. The worst kind of liar. Exponent laws, there's the first 3 easy ones, and then there's the 7 harder ones. But they're all right there. Learn those 2 pages. They are page 84 and 85. Study the crap out of 84 and 85. And you can't really do this badly, especially if you show your work. Good? Okay. Oh, I can't remember if I put a no calculator section on here or not. But if I did, it would be super easy questions like this. No, that's even too hard. 3, A2, B4, C, -1, -2, all squared. That would be the type of thing that would be on a no calculator section, right? And you guys can all multiply by 2. Picking up what I'm putting down? Read my mail, mow my lawn? Okay. Nobody's worried, are they? Everyone feels good, yes? But why? But you never do. You always do well. That would be like saying I'm scared to walk up the stairs. But okay.